What is the Per'ankh? The Per'ankh is the house of life. And that would be equivalent to the present day hospital. And again, we're saying that the temples talk to us, and we bring the temples to life in terms of seeing the Grand Master himself sitting on the square Imhotep. Unfortunately, you cannot see his head because his head has been knocked off. And maybe that is because so the world cannot see that Imhotep, this black man, was in fact the first physician. Long before some Hippocrates, and still our children are told that Hippocrates was in fact the first physician, but yet 2,000 years before Hippocrates, Imhotep was the first physician that he had his bowl to wash his hands. And look at the instruments here, like scissors and needles and so forth. The same instruments that they use today, if you were to go into the hospital for surgery, you see the medical instruments right here of Imhotep. Sisters who have the Imhotep's energy, who are the medical doctor. Okay, you can all come forward.
Yes, that's right.
From London. Here's our sister walking in the Imhotep spirit right here.
Antonia?
Antonia? Okay. Again, we call on our spirit of our sisters who are got the Imhotep spirit. That means that they studied medicine according to that of Imhotep. I think when you took medicine, did you have to take the Hippocratic Oath?
Yes.
Okay. Although you took the Hippocratic Oath, sisters, but that Hippocratic Oath was actually the oath dedicated to Imhotep. And although they told us that Hippocrates was a father of medicine, but 2,000 years before Hippocrates was the father of medicine or physician, Imhotep predated him by 2,000 years. Now, unfortunately, you see Imhotep right here, and his head is now knocked off. So the world cannot witness this African of the third dynastic period, architect, grand vizier, physician, long before Hippocrates, right. But look right here. You see scissors, okay? You see suctions, you see needles. You see all the various, now are these the same instruments, you tell me? Are you familiar with these instruments here?
Yes.
Okay. Are these instruments that they use today?
Yes.
Okay, so you see that these instruments were known by African people thousands of years before the Europeans were studying medicine. This is a prescription. Don't you give prescriptions? Well, here's a prescription that Imhotep had to give.
All right.
All right? Right, so let's look.
That's where they balance the medicine at.
Yeah, balance the medicine for the little scale. Also, this symbol right here, the eye of Haru. But let's look at that eye, and you can see the RX, and the Medical Association is right here on the temple. All right? Nothing new under the sun. As it even further, they say it right here that the origin of the RX abbreviation, the doctors use all over the world and in all languages originated from the eye symbol of Haru. Again, the eye symbol of Haru, the right eye of Haru, that was the all-seeing eye. There is where you get your medical symbol of the RX from. Nothing new under the sun, brothers and sisters. So long before the Greeks, Thales, long before Hippocrates, Imhotep already knew about surgery, all these things. But yet when we open up the books in the classroom, not one word is mentioned of this grandmaster genius of his time who knew about surgery long before some Hippocrates was even in existence. But the Greek name Asclepius is the Kemetic name Imhotep. So Asclepius is the Greek name for Imhotep. And yet brothers and sisters have come back on this trip who are doctors and never knew that when they gave their oath to Asclepius that in fact it was Imhotep that you see right here. Unfortunately, I don't have his picture. I generally have his picture so we can see this African Imhotep who was a physician long before Hippocrates. But yet this is all about Europeans causing us to deify them so we cannot see what's on these temples, like a book.
Imhotep right here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, there he is. This is Imhotep. So here you see
Taking the head off, but we got it.
one young man who came back here. I think he was in high school, and I saw him about a year ago. And he told me that he's a med student now due to the fact of what he saw in this temple here. That impressed him so much.
Be a doctor.
Yes, that one is a matter for the herbs or whatever medicine. That is matter.
Oh, yeah, with the little